Hello everyone, Igor from Vinous Reverie, wine merchant. I want to give a brief overview of the August wine selections for both the Adventurous Club and the High Society Club. Alright, so let's get started. The first wine we're going to have here is from Lugano region, which is in northern Italy. The name of the producer is Cade Frati, and the grape is Trebbiano. So the Lugano region is right on the south shores of Lake Garda. So you get wines that are very refreshing and very minerally based. So it's a great, I think, summer wine, and minerality really what dominates it. So very interesting grape, and great scores on this one. You got 90 points from Wine Enthusiast and 90 points from Vinous Media. So highly acclaimed wine. All right. The second one is from Yalumba, Viognier. So Yalumba is the oldest family-owned winery in Australia. Very big operation. They make, I don't know, probably over 30 different wines, mostly either Shiraz or Cabernet-based wines. But their other specialty is Viognier. They make several blends of Viognier, and this is one of them. So this is from 2017 vintage. Very high scores across the board. You got 95 points from Decanter, like extremely great score. And then, like I said, you also got scores from James Suckling over 90 points, Robert Parker, Wine and Spirits, Wine Enthusiast, Jensen's gave it 16.5 points, which is equivalent to about 90 points. So very acclaimed wine. And the great part about this wine is it comes from Eden Valley, which is north of Barossa Valley. So you got a higher elevation, more cooler climate, so there's nicer acidity. So this grape, the suggested date to drink this by is 24, which is a really long time for a Viognier grape, which is a grape that typically does not have high acidity. So this is a great example, and I think it's a great introduction to this wine within our wine club. So if you order the white wines, these are the two wines that you'll get. All right, two great fun wines. All right, here the first red wine. It's La Terre alle Tolfe. That's the name of the producer, and it's within the Chianti Senesi region. So Chianti has 7 subzones, and the most famous one is Chianti Classico. This is right southwest of Chianti Classico, much smaller region, doesn't have the acclaim of Chianti Classico, but this producer might be considered the best producer in that region. Got a high score, 70 points from Jensen's Robinson, which is about 92 points on the 100-point scale. And the one really great thing about this wine is that it's delicious. What's not great about this wine is that it's out of distribution right now. And the reason is when an importer brings interesting wines like this, sometimes they have hard time selling them. So when they have hard time selling them, they're like, oh, sorry, winery, we can't sell your wine. We have to end our relationship. So right now I have the wine for the wine club members, and I have maybe an extra 2 cases just for regular sales. So if you guys want to try something really good and you like Sangiove based wines, I would highly recommend you try this wine. So let me give you some of the grapes. So it's 80% Sangiove, but then there's some local varieties as well. Ciliegiolo, Canaiolo, Colorino. So nice addition to the blend, softens sometimes the high acidity of Sangiove. And yeah, this wine is kind of like Kaiser Soze, it disappears. I don't know, or maybe it'll reappear again tomorrow. I don't know, but right now, like I said, it's out of distribution. I'm pretty sure I'm the only outlet in the whole United States to carry wines from this producer. So another fantastic selection. So for mixed club wines, you get the Yalumba Viognier, and you got Torre alle Tolfe Sangiove, Chianti Senesi. All right, and the final wine for the is from Portugal, from Quinta di Crasto. So Quinta di Crasto is a very famous port producer, but in about early 90s they started concentrating more on still wines, both red and white. So once again, fun a blend based on indigenous Portuguese selection. So we have Touriga Nacional, which is probably the most famous red grape out of Portugal, but there's also Tinta Roriz, Tinta Barraca, and Touriga Franca. Nice blend. Got 90 points from Robert Parker. Jensen's Robinson put it as one of the best wines to try on her end of the year list in 2020. So once again, another fun selection. So you have the Chianti Senesi, and the Portuguese blend for the Red Wine Club. Really fun selections that you can see, all highly acclaimed. All right, now jump into the High Society Club. Very excited about this wine. It's from Alain Verset out of Cornas. So Cornas is an appellation within Northern Rhone. The two most famous appellations are Côte Rôtie and Hermitage. Basically the two most famous wines in the world. All based on the great Syrah grape. But Cornas, a lot of people believe, is actually where the birthplace of the grape is. It's kind of the third most famous of the three appellations, and all those the production is tiny, minuscule, and the wines are typically very expensive. So I was excited I was able to fit this wine into the High Society Club. 94 points from Vinous Media, extremely high score, and Alain Verset is actually a nephew of the very famous Noël Verset, which is probably one of the 3 or 4 best producers for Cornas. And when I was saying it's a micro production, it's a tiny micro production. He owns 1 hectare of land and makes 900 bottles of this wine every year. I am the only outlet on the West Coast to have this wine. I specially ordered it from an East Coast distributor. So once again, I'm very excited to have this unique, delicious, highly acclaimed wine in the High Society Club. And finally, we have from Cervaiona. So that's the producer out of Tuscany. Very famous Brunello de Montalcino producer. But this blend is very unique on 2 fronts. You have a blend of Sangiove 90% and 10% of Pinot Noir, and this is a non-vintage blend. So the Sangiove grapes come from the 2017 vintage, and the Pinot comes from the 2018 vintage. So like I said, it's very unusual to have this wine, and once again, I'm one of the very, very, very few outlets to have this wine. 93 points from Robert Parker, so once again, tremendous scores. You guys could see all 6 wines in the club got 90 points or above. I think they're fantastic deals for what the clubs offer. So if you're in the club, you're gonna enjoy all these wines. If you're not in the club, you can always join the club. Or if you want to just taste any of these wines individually, we have a few bottles left of each wine. So if you just want to purchase them, that'll be great too. But here's the overview. I hope you guys will enjoy these wines, and I'll see you next time at the shop. Thank you. Bye.